Alright folks, let's take a look at the BZ-58-2 supposed relationship to the upcoming Tier 7 Chinese rocket heavy tank, but it's a Tier 9 conventional, normal heavy tank. So it doesn't have the rocket boosters in the back. It does look like a stolen 50TP's turret on a conventional hull that is supposed to be the BZ-58's hull at Tier 7. So it's a mishmash of a Tier 9's turret on a Tier 7's hull, supposedly, or they buffed the armor on the Tier 7, but yeah, that is the Polish turret. So they stole a turret from the Czechs, from the VZ-51, might as well steal one from the 50TP. So the M103 looks over just like, "Senpai, notice me, steal my turret." Nobody wants to steal the M103's turret. Nobody. It's not a bad turret, but nobody wants it. Nobody. So notice this inscription right here, 607. And let's jump into the 50TP at the back of the turret. There it is, 607. It is not as green, so you cannot really see it, but it's 607-43. The -43 is covered up by the Dushka machine gun ammo boxes, so 607. I mean, they're a little bit different in terms of canvas at the back and satchel charges or satchel bags. The Dushka, well, Dushka is likely the same, but more ammo boxes, so kind of different, I guess. A little bit different. There's a satchel pack right here, but that periscope is the same. Loader, commander, cupola are the same. The little mushroom vent right here, as well as the ammo dump or ammo casing dump, so practically the same. 3 belts for the canvas. Wow, 4 belts, so little bit different. I mean, it's like the Czech heavy tank that we covered, or Czech heavy tank turret on this thing, the Model 6 with the 17 on the WZ-111 chassis. So you already noticed this, we already covered this from like 6 months ago or something. So there it is. There it is. So stole one from the Czechs and stole one from the Polish. Nobody steal, well, they already stole stuff from the Americans, but that's nowadays. Moving on. Nobody wants to steal the M103's turret. Notice me, senpai. Make it sexual. Alright, moving on. So the hull is only 70mm at the hull front. It might be well sloped, but getting hit by artillery still hurts. So it's like with the Lorraine 50T. It is big. It has no armor, so only utilize the turret. But this thing is smaller than the 50TP, so, or 50TP. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than 50TP and a little bit smaller, a lot smaller than the Lorraine 50T. But yeah, the hull front kind of looks like a medium tank, a little bit. A little bit like a Patton hull front, supposedly. As a commander or driver hatch right here. Commander hatch, loader hatch are big, so like the WZ-111s, you have to wiggle the turret around, but the hull looks a little bit like a flatter medium tank hull. It is not as wide or long as a WZ-111. I mean, still okay, but depending on the armor on the hull front, that is the big question. So if the upper plate is 70, it's alright. The only thing I have to worry about is artillery shell, but if the lower plate is 70, then that's a big weak spot. Upper plate is very well sloped, so that's good, but the driver hatch is a little bit more prominent, elevated, like this little lip right here. So it's like with the STI in a sense, a little bit, or like the IS-4, but the IS-4 driver hatch is pretty thick at the front. So let's take a look at the stats. But it is the 50TP's turret, so we already know mostly about this vehicle from the Polish heavy tank. 520 alpha from the 130, 250mm of pen, fires AP, APCR, and high explosive, so APCR is 303. Alpha is kinda low compared to the 50TP. I think it was 560 on the Polish. 560. About the same pin, I believe, for all the shells. Yeah, about the same pin. So, same ammo count too, 30 rounds, but this thing packs more of a punch, so therefore has a little bit better DPM. Base DPM on the 130 is, let's see, 2,100. Reloads at about 16 seconds. This thing is 17.2 and it has less alpha. So DPM is not as good. It's about sub 2,000 or so. So kinda if. 3 seconds of aim time. It's a 130 big caliber gun, 0.37 accuracy. Might be better than the Polish. Yeah, it's more accurate, but has less alpha and less DPM. 8 degrees gun depression, 20 elevation, 30 rounds. Commander, driver, gunner, loader, the same standard heavy tank loadout. 30 kilometers per hour top speed, 17 reverse. Kind of slow, but horsepower per ton ratio is about the same, I think, as the 50 TP. Only 650 horsepower. Quickly take a look. Yeah, same engine practically, but how much is the horsepower per ton thing on this thing? About the same, 13 or so, but this thing has 35 kilometers per hour top speed, so it gets better reverse speed, but less top speed. Yeah, I would rather have better top speed. 30 is kind of slow. 2,000 health, 70 at the hull front, 70 at the hull sides, 50 at the rear. Turret is the 50 TP, so pretty thick, other than the commander and loader cupola. 380 meters of view range, the same. Kind of suboptimal for tier 9 heavy, but it is a premium. Radio is standard. Nothing really screams that OP when you think about it, right? I mean, yeah, standard Chinese heavy tank loadout compared to the WZ-111s. It is a breakthrough heavy tank. But yeah, sub 2,000 DPM for a tier 9. Kinda if, but it has better accuracy than the 50 TP baseline, so it's more accurate, but you have less alpha. That's the only downside. The same gun depression, I presume, and elevation. Yeah, 20 and 8. And faster turret traverse. You can turn the turret faster. That's nice, but 31 is getting closer to a fat medium tank than a slow heavy tank, which is nice, but your top speed is not that great. Hull traverse might be faster. Yep, faster than the 50 TP and the same health. So that's nice, but I'm worried about the 70mm hull front. If it's all 70, then the lower plate is a big weak spot. Camo is heavy tank, nothing to say there, and view range is heavy tank. But if it has better dispersion, I don't know if it's better than WZ-114. That's a question right there. The WZ-114 has a lot of health. The major downside is you cannot hit a target. It has worse dispersion value than artillery while shooting and turning the turret or moving the hull. It's just garbage. So it's not a rocket heavy tank, but we are seeing a lot of premium heavy Chinese tanks for some reason. I think it's likely for one candidate for Lunar New Year marathon, like what we got with the 122TM or the WZ-114. So we need one premium for the marathon that happens around February or so. But yeah, I mean, Mishmash stole the turret from a Polish heavy tank and stick on to supposedly the tier 7 heavy tank's hull. So don't know how good that hull is, but let's see the shell velocity. About standard. Is it faster than the actual 50 TP? It's actually faster than the 50 TP. Just has less alpha. Alright, I mean, it's faster all the way across the board. So faster APCR, faster AP, faster high explosive, but by 100 or so. But you have less alpha, which doesn't make sense. When your shell is flying faster, doesn't it do more damage? Right? I don't know. I mean, it's the same caliber of a gun, but alright. It's alright, but the DPM is also kind of low. 1900 is kind of low for a tier 9 heavy tank. It is a premium, but the WZ-114 has about a little bit more, right? Let's see, WZ-114. Chinese premium heavy tank. That's the health. Wow! Never mind, I forgot. It has only 1650 DPM. Well, it gets better DPM than the WZ-114, but this thing is like a bunker. It has so much health to go through. And it does have the weak spot, but it is not as prominent as the double commander loader cupola combo. It only has the commander cupola combo right here. So that is like the ST1s or STI's lip on the turret. But it is a premium tank, so makes more credit and bonds at tier 9. But dispersion factor values on this thing is horrendous. So, oof. So, how much would I rate this thing after taking a look at the initial stats? It is not that appealing. I mean, it is the same practical gun as the 50TP, just flies faster, more accurate. That's alpha though. And if you're close range fighting, like what you should do with a breakthrough heavy tank, then I don't think you really need that much accuracy unless you're sniping at weak spot. But at that point, might as well press number 2 button and spam APCR around, right? So equipment wise, I think you would likely go for the same equipment for assault heavy tanks, like with the BZ-51s or the model number 6, yada yada. But somehow this thing is also a assault or breakthrough heavy tank. Never mind. But equipment wise, I would think vents, vertical stabilizer, and rammer. The DPM really needs a rammer, so I think rammer is practically a given. We have to see the actual soft stats for dispersion values, but otherwise you could put turbocharger because the top speed is kind of crap, only 30. Vents is likely a priority too, so helps out with everything, but you could put more health if that's the case, but you just become a piñata, so you just take more punishment without having any DPM to go backwards, right? And let's talk field modifications. So always choose better terrain resistance at the cost of durability for your tracks. I think it's worthwhile if you have repair. So this one gives you better terrain resistance, therefore gives you better speed and better traverse. Even though this thing already has better traverse than the 50TP. More accuracy or aim time. Ooh, this is a challenge. It's already fairly accurate, but if you're at a close range fighting, would you rather have better aim time at the sacrifice of accuracy? Since you're already close enough, might as well just sacrifice a little bit accuracy for like 2.6 seconds of aim time. I think you go with better aim time in this scenario. I mean, I may be crazy, but if you jump the aim time to 3 seconds, I think it's kind of bad. So yeah, better aim time and better view range. Obviously, you could get stunned, but might as well hide behind a rock. So get better view range. 380 at tier 9 is nothing to write home about. It's not spectacular. So better view range. And finally, for the last one, top speed at the cost of aim speed and turret traverse. Top speed is very good. I mean, for this vehicle with only 30, I think top speed is likely a given. So this one will be negated with this one. So if you're already choosing aim speed, then choose this one. So basically you're just negating the effects of this one right here. So I think you would choose top speed over -4 to your top speed. That is kind of dramatic. You'll go down to 26 kilometers per hour, which is not fast, especially with that low DPM and weak spots on top of your turret. Yeah, you're gonna get chewed out. So overall, it's average. I don't feel anything spectacular about it, but it is a premium tank, supposed to make more credits and bonds after the conversion, but it's a stolen turret from a tier 9 already. So it does have the weak spots, but it doesn't punch as hard. I would say this thing is like a fair 5 out of 10. I mean, it's not special. We have to see the actual armor, but if it's only 70 at the hull front, good luck with artillery shell. You will take more damage. So, I have played my artillery hitting the Lorraine 50T compared to a Conqueror. It does about 300 alpha compared to the Conqueror, then 500 alpha on a frontal hit from a 𝑚53-55. So, having less armor at the hull front means you're getting splashed by artillery, which means you're taking more damage, and you don't have the buff health like the WZ-114, so you don't take that much hit. Overall, it's fair, but it's not spectacular. 5 out of 10. It's alright, but we need a candidate for Chinese New Year's, well, Lunar New Year's, so might as well give another tier 9 premium. That is pretty average, but I think this is a little bit better based on initial preview, I would say, compared to the WZ-114. So I would rather choose this vehicle over the 114, but that's without saying the actual dispersion factor. If it has the same dispersion factor as the 114, oh, that's a hard toss-up. That's a real hard toss-up. It's like the 114 is a 4 out of 10 or 3.5 out of 10. It is kind of bad. This thing is like 5 out of 10 currently without seeing the actual armor. So there you go, folks. The BZ-58-2. Supposed relationship to the tier 7, but if this thing is a tier 7's haul, it's not half bad, considering the smaller caliber of artillery shells at tier 7. But it's just basically a stolen turret, practically. So you can take your time look at the turret of the 50 TP, but it is decent. It's like the the WZ-111's turret, practically. So just 2 commander cupola, or commander and loader cupola on top, and that's your main weak spot. You can wiggle the turret around pretty quick, so that's nice compared to the actual 50 TP, but compare this to the Chinese WZ-111s, it's more centered, a little bit taller in that sense, but it does turn faster for the turret compared to the 1-4 as well. Interesting. But it's a 5 out of 10. So, well, there you go, folks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.